Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here in Erlengrat. Yeah, that shouldn't really be a problem, should it? Considering how far it was able to go with the forage wagon. Like, it had a long reach for that forage wagon, so I don't actually think that bit would be a problem. I don't think there'd be any issues there whatsoever. So we're going up through here with yet another load. I mean, look at this. It does actually look pretty cool. All load. Whoa! Okay, I'm busy admiring the sweet, sweet view. And we missed our turning. So let's see if we can back two trailers up like this. Not if you start wiggling them like that, you won't, Frith. Come on. And in here. Okay, so we need to go up round the side, ignoring the animal pens. And yes, it may seem unusual that we're delivering loose silage here, but they've actually got bobcats that they run inside. You know, little skid steers. They've got those, and they just bring them out loaded up, and they go and see that double door right there? That all opens up, and they bring the skid steers out. They grab the silage and take it in. They've got a bunker that they store it in there. It goes in for the cows pretty quickly. So we've got that bit done. The job up the top, that is finished there. See, he's all finished up here. He's got a few patches in there. The farmer said he didn't care about that. So we're quite happy with that. I'm going to let it tip out here. Take this, just get the money that we want from this one. So we got 1939. The price is going up. We're on 161 on here. I'm tempted to just fast forward time a bit, except that the rain is coming, and I don't necessarily want the rain. Do I fast forward time or not? That's kind of... I think I've got these sewing jobs. Right, anyway, let's collect that. We get 500 euros there. New contracts. We've got a fertilizing job there on field 22. That is the only fertilizing job that we got. That's another 2.5 grand. I'm gonna fast forward time a little bit. Not a lot, but I am gonna go a little bit just to... Okay. All of the sewing jobs have just disappeared, including the potato one, which is one that I kind of wanted to do. I wanted to get money from that, but I feel that this money here is going to be infinitely more profitable for us in the long run, so we won't worry about all those sewing jobs disappearing. I don't think we were that much up against it. Time. Whoa, 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 what? What? That was on 176 just now. Oh, of course, is that mechanic where it, once you've delivered X amount, it does a bulk. Ah! Oh. It literally just dropped by 30 euros per 1,000 litres. I mean, it's not the end of the world type. Oops. I just pressed U. There, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah. 1936, and that was on 161. It had gone up by another 15. It's now starting to rain as well, which also doesn't help. Is that a harvest job right there in front of us? Not if it's raining, it's not. Yes, it is a harvest job, but it started raining now. We've got new fertilizer. We got a lot of fertilizer jobs have suddenly come up. We got this harvesting job here. 1767. And the money that we would have had, like we've lost, that would have been over 2 grand per load. That went all the way up to like 176. Right, this is what I get for being greedy. This is what I get for being greedy. Now, 1 trailer load will be enough to take us... So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1 trailer load back here. We're going to buy that biogas plant, and then we're going to take 1 trailer load over to the biogas plant, and we're going to see what we can get from there. Now, I mean, I know that 300 wouldn't have been enough to take us all the way up to being able to actually buy the biogas plant, but it's still 300, and at this point, 300 seems like a lot of money. Although I have dismissed 300 earlier on as not really being worth bothering with. Questioning the wisdom of that decision right now. I'm kind of thinking that it's starting to rain, so we wouldn't be going and doing any sowing jobs. Obviously, we can't do combining in the rain. That is definitely something you can't do. Planting, you can't do that in the rain. It's just going to make too much mess. There isn't any cultivating jobs. We could technically do some fertilizer work in the rain, but again, you generally want to avoid that if possible. So what we might do is, yes, we will do the silage work right here that we're doing, but we're not going to go and do anything else at the moment. I'll bring that there, I think, is where we're going to stop. And we'll unload that, and now I'll go on round. So we're not going to do anything else. I'm going to keep working on this, but I was kind of actually thinking maybe we should fast forward time again in order to get a bit more money coming in for our silage. But then I was kind of thinking, well, no, actually, because we could end up getting a second drop because I've gone and sold more silage. So because we bulk sold a little bit extra, that could also trigger a second price drop, which is not really going to be beneficial to us in any way, shape, or form. So I think we'll leave it for a second, but we're not going to take any contract jobs. We'll leave the contract jobs until it stops raining, which is likely to be tomorrow at this stage. So that one's done in there, and then, so we're right in the deep parts of the silage bunker now. We've gotten all of the sort of shallow bit. We're right in the bulk of the actual silage. We did really well, actually. The amount of silage that we managed to cram in here is quite impressive. It's got to be said. I feel that we can give ourselves a pat on the back for the work that we did here. That there. Yeah, I was going to say, there's not a lot left in that one. Not a lot of space left in there. Let's bring that one back out this way a little bit, like that. I'm going to unhitch these trailers, and I'm going to take one of them over to the barn, and we're going to sell that there for this paltry, measly 148 rather than 176 that it went up to. I mean, yes, it's still got a green arrow pointing upwards, but quite frankly, that was not very useful, is it? Because it could still drop drastically. So if I go there and unhitch that back trailer, we will take just the front one, and we'll run this to the barn, get our 2,000 euros, which will take us, no, 1,700 euros. It's still enough. It's the important thing here. It's what we need to focus on. It will still be enough. It will take us to above 120. We need 120 or a couple hundred shy of 120 in order to buy the plant. And then we've got one trailer load to go and test if we can actually tip, or if we're going to need more money still in order to be able to transfer the silage into the actual biogas plant itself. It's interesting that we've got the contract for doing that field there, despite the fact that it's raining. And I am curious, if I was to take the contract for that field, would the game allow me to do the harvest work despite the fact that it's raining? We know the game doesn't let you run the combine when it's raining on your own property, but does that rule still apply to a contract job? Because in FS19, if it was raining... Why have you changed to the grain door? Is it because I unhitched the trailer previously? Don't know. But yeah, in FS17, if you accepted the contract, it would have it so that it wasn't raining. Like the sky would cloud over, and it would look like it was raining, and it would be raining elsewhere. But because you were in... I mean, obviously, when you're doing a contract in 17, you couldn't walk away and leave it. If you left the field, the contract would just say, done, 1,600. Seriously? 1,600? Is that it? I feel cheated. I genuinely feel cheated. I should be getting 500 more per load. This is why I'm really hoping that this BGA gamble is going to pay off. If it does, then, yeah, absolutely fantastic. Otherwise... I don't know what we're going to do, to be honest. Like, Yeah. I'm pretty certain, though, that it does pay off. However, I've also got the feeling that the BGA, yes, it limits the amount of money that you get, because there's only so much that you can put into that bin, and then it ticks through at a set rate. So there's only so much you can earn per day, but I think it is a pretty good rate. So all we got to do is put in an exact quantity into the bin. We need to measure out exactly how much goes into that bin, and then once it goes through midnight, we can see exactly how much money we get. And it's got to go through the bin. It's actually got to be processed. It's no good just going into the bin. The VGA has got to process it in order for us to get the money for it. So, I mean, we don't work past 8 o'clock, so we can always have a look at it. We might just fast forward on just a standard 120 fast forward this time round, just so that we can see if it all gets used up, that BGA. We got to get the stuff in there first. We may yet have to pull some sort of magic out of a hat in order to be able to get this silage into the BGA itself. Possibly we could use some sort of terraforming and build ourselves a brand new ramp or something like that. Yes, probably not the best way to go about doing things, but it's an option. It is an option I feel that perhaps we shouldn't rule out. It could be a way to make all of this work. So I'm going to buy this. I'm going to get down there and I'm going to buy it. So we've got 12,000 litres right here. We're going to drive along the road. We'll come out here and it's a straight drive to the BGA. I think it's actually a little bit quicker to get to the BGA than it is to get to the barn, which is good news. We'll soon find out. So we're going to go racing along here at tip-top speed, although unfortunately we do have a roundabout on this route, whereas there is no such roundabout going the other way. So this has potential to slow us down a little bit more. It's not too bad there. That's not too bad. There's no U-turns being done here. We're not going to be able to U-turn very well with this thing anyway. So is it closer or not? Oh. Okay, maybe it's not closer. Let's have a look. Map. Bit concerned I'm going to go driving straight into the river there. I don't want to do that because the fence there is not got any collision on it. So we'll get over to the BGA. I'm thinking there isn't a lot of difference in this one because you got the turning that you got to take on the other one, whereas here we come up to this road, it's pretty much straight across. Don't think there's a lot of difference in it. There is some. There is definitely some, and then we come into here, right? So we'd obviously we have to slow down a little bit more coming in through there. So we're here. We've got that. Actually, no, it is closer to get to the barn. It is definitely closer to get to the barn. If you look there, the barn is in line with that tractor wheel. And if we go over this side and we put the... Wait a minute. If I bring that one all the way over to that side, that's where we're driving from. The barn is in line here. So if I bring us in line here, it's about the same. Doing a straight line on the map is about the same. I mean, yes, you've got a little bit more of a curve on this road. I don't think there's much in it. Possibly the fastest, would it be? No, I don't think it would be. Going up that steep hill to that roundabout and then down that road, that's not going to speed anything up. The only thing that might speed it up, actually, is if we go from our place, we go up the hill to here, we drive along there, cut across the road here, out onto the road here, and then down, but we wouldn't realistically do that anyway. Okay, so we're over at the biogas plant, and we're about to go and make our purchase. We go to you, and we will buy for 119,936. We're not getting a lot of change out of this. We now own it. And next I wanted to have a look at prices. Does the biogas plant... Right, the biogas plant is giving us a straight 200 euros per 1,000 litres. So it's not the 500 that I initially thought. I would have been surprised if we'd gotten 500, but 200 is good. I think that this stays at a set rate. I don't think that changes. So now the big question is, can we tip? It always comes up with this, but then it says wrong tipping type. Let's do it. Yes! It works! Oh, this is so beautiful. Oh, this brings a tear to my eye. Oh, this is so beautiful. We're going to put a full 12,000 litres in here. We don't get any money until midnight. That's how these work now. It's already processing that down. It's ticking away down. We are going to go back to our farm. We want to see if there is a slightly quicker way to do this. We could put the silage right there next time round if we wanted to. What is in here? What is this? Can I... No, if I press R, I don't get anything out of that. Can we maybe sell something here? Oh, digestate. I guess we pick up digestate from there. I would guess, anyway. I'm not really sure. So, if we come up this way, can we have some kind of shortcut back to our farm? So, there's a road right there, and there's another track further up. Field 25. So, I'll have a look in here. So, we've got that track there that goes between 25 and 24. We've got this track here that goes between 23 and 24. So let's first have a look at this track here and see what we think of this one. We can come out pretty much opposite the BGA there, drop down onto this one, and then we run up through this track here. Now, I know plenty of farmers who come to arrangements with other farmers about granting access or even selling a right-of-way. A right-of-way is different to being given permission to travel through somewhere. Very, very different. A right-of-way is a legal right. And I know people who've had rights-of-way through other people's farms and have sold that right-of-way back to the farmer that owns the land. I've seen that done. I've actually seen that done amicably, and I've seen it done through nothing but arguments and nasty work. Now, I would say that if we were going to do this, we would be driving down across here, because eventually we would have a track sort of running through this. So to start with, we'll just say that we've gotten permission from the farmer and we can travel down through. If we can travel down through, that means that we're also having to travel across our own land, and we possibly want to go and like build some kind of road to go in through there. I need to be able to turn around here now. So let's get some turning done. So we have put in 12,000 litres so far. We're going to go and take another 24 up there, which will make 36,000. If we do 2 loads, that's going to be 36, and then another 24 on top of that is going to give us exactly 60,000 litres of silage going to the new biogas plant that we've just gone and bought. Exactly 60,000. Now, at 200 per 1,000 litres, that is going to be 200 times 60, which is, well, 10 times 200 would be 2 grand, which would be really rather nice. So 6 times that would be 12 grand. So we get 12,000 euros for selling the 60,000 litres that we go and take up there. I don't think that's too bad. I think that's pretty good. So let's bring this in up along here like this, and we will unhitch both of these trailers. So we want to do 2 trips up there. We want to get 60,000 litres of silage in, and in theory we should get 12,000 euros for said silage, if I've done my maths correctly. I'm sure somebody will be able to tell me if I haven't. I'm looking at you, Mr. Maltese Panda, maths teacher extraordinaire. I've done my maths correctly. 60 times 200 is 12,000, isn't it? 50 times 200 would be 10 grand. Add another 10,000 times 200. That's right. I've done my maths correctly. I know I have. I'm absolutely confident. So we should get 12 grand coming in for just these couple of loads. Now, obviously, the next thing that we're going to want to be doing is finding ways to move our silage a little bit faster. We're also limited a bit on not only how much silage we can move and how quickly, but then making more silage in order to be able to do this again and get some more money. And I mean, we've got the grass here in the field, and we've got the equipment here already. We could just go straight off and do this if we wanted to. Should we build a little track across the road? I mean, this is the next thing, is getting the silage up here in the first place. Because what I was kind of thinking is that the track that we build, very steep going along the side of this road, this hill right here. Actually need a beacon on to be going across here at all, but we're going to keep one on anyway. And then we've got to go on up this hill, and this is where we struggle. With this tractor, this isn't so much of a shortcut, is it? We'd be better off going across the road when loaded, and then coming back this way, maybe when unloaded. That might be a better option, because that steep hill right there has kind of negated the need for any kind of shortcut. It's still taking just as long as it did when we didn't have a shortcut to worry about. So, I mean, what we could actually do is we could come out onto the road there. We take we'd go a little bit across our land, and then we come out onto the road, so we're not driving right the way across our field. And then we go up here onto the right-of-way. And I was saying about a right-of-way being sold amicably and a right-of-way being sold not so amicably. And I've seen both. I've seen someone sell... basically, they had a right-of-way through someone else's farm, and they hadn't used it for about 15 years. And they realised... I think it's 15... I don't know. They hadn't used it for a long time. And they realised that if they didn't use it, one of the conditions of it was they had to use it every so often. And if they didn't use it soon, they would have to... they would just lose the right of way. So what they did was they approached the farmer and they said, we want X amount for the right of way that goes across your land. You can have it back and we'll never use it. And the farmer said, I can't afford to pay that. I'm not paying that. I don't have that kind of money. And so what this person did was, oh, right, well, I need to use the right-of-way, and I need to get my lorries in through here. And he went down through this old track that he would have used, and he cut down all of the trees. It used to be that he would go through there with a tiny little tractor, but he went through and he cut down all of these huge, great big trees all the way down through, cut off everything, shoved it all off to the side, and took his lorry down through there once. And then he went back to the farmer and he said, either you buy the right of way off of me, or I'm going to keep doing stuff like this on a regular basis. I'm going to use it as frequently as I possibly can, and I'm going to turn this into a highway through here. And it's basically just going to make life really, really difficult for the farmer that owned the place. And in the end, he ended up paying the ransom fee. Which I thought was absolutely disgusting. I was appalled and disgusted by that behaviour. I thought that was a terrible thing to go and do. But I have also seen it done quite amicably, where, you know, the owner of it or has said, you know, we don't need this right away anymore. Here, you can buy it back or give it back or however. So there's all kinds of people. Some people I like more than other people. Let's just put it like that, shall we? And I'm sure some of you are the same. There are definitely some people that we like more than there are other people that we like. So far we've got 30,000 litres in here. I don't know how much we can put in, but the idea is that we want to go... So we've 6,000 litres is already processed in there. we want to go and get one more load, and we want to process that one additional load. So right at the moment, what we're going to say for roleplay purposes for this game is that we don't have a right of way coming through here. But what we do have is gentleman's agreement between farmers that we are allowed to use this track coming up through here when we need it. Now, I'm kind of thinking that if a farmer says that to you, you know, if your neighbor says you can use it when you need it, if you start to become overly familiar, as in if you start to use it too much, then they start to, you know, sort of say, well, yeah, I didn't really mean for you to be using it every day, day in, day out. It was more access when you need it. So maybe if we do start using that route there on a regular basis, we would then want to go and formalize our agreement and also have some silver swapping hands, just in order to fully keep both parties happy. Because that's the important thing with your neighbors. You kind of want both parties to be happy with any arrangements that are made. And this might be what we need to go and do. And I do think that having a track along here on our own land isn't necessarily a bad thing, although that right there is a little bit steep. So if we do build a track on our own land, we might want to do something a little bit different there, just kind of level it out a bit maybe. I'm not quite sure what we'll do just yet. This one, we are going to have to come in down there. I mean, this is not going to be our final yard anyway. And the other bit that I'm wondering is, do we finish with our silage being done here again anyway? Or do we actually make the silage over at the biogas plant? Do we carry the silage over to there? I mean, it's all going to be, it is organic silage that we'll be making here on our land. Oh, you've gone and done that again, which means, look at that front wheel. What are you doing with the front weight? I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say that ain't right. Mildred, has something gone wrong here? Can I... No. Oh, it looks like it might have... There we go, right. Okay, that's looking a bit better. That had me a little bit concerned there for a moment. Things didn't seem quite right. Let's try this again then, shall we? We want to load up one more load, and that is going to give us our 60,000 litres up there. And all being well, we should wind up with 12,000 euros once everything is done and dusted. And I believe that that price never changes. So occasionally we might see this price exceed this price. Although I'm not holding my breath on that. We went up to 176 and then we had that massive drop. But I don't think that we're going to get a big enough price hike anyway. So I don't think that we've got any issues. Any danger of us ever seeing the price go up high enough for us to properly benefit from it. We've got all of that silage going in there into the trailer. You're all done. So I'm going to lift you up like this. Bring you back this way. And I'm going... Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.